we are doing. It's called group twin heart meditation. This meditation is very, very effective meditation for our wellness and also sending the wellness energy or vibes to the rest of the planet. So this is for raising the planetary consciousness, not only our consciousness. So how many of you understand about consciousness? A little bit? Okay, I can tell a little about consciousness that I was taught. Anything that has consciousness has ability to do something on its own without someone's.
Sorry.
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that, for example, this, where I'm sitting, it doesn't have any consciousness. That's why every time we come, the size is same. It's not growing. But every time you come, I see your hair has grown a little more. Your nail has gone, beard has grown. That means we are live and we have consciousness. So anything which has consciousness, like animal, tree, they are all changing. They are in an auto mode, so they keep on connecting with some energy which basically controls it, and we are reciprocating with that energy. So we all have consciousness, but only problem is to what degree. Is it very strong or it is very limited? It's like a broadband, you know. Broadband connection, sometimes connection is very, very narrow, you can't listen to a call properly. Or sometimes you get a very strong connection and a very good communication is possible. So it's something very similar, it's not exactly, but analogous. So we can increase our consciousness by doing regular meditation. Also, when we bless somebody, we cannot bless somebody without having some kind of awareness about myself and others. So that also helps us to create or raise our consciousness, raise our awareness. Awareness is very close to consciousness. So most of the time we are like not aware of many things. So here we come to remind what we are not aware of. For example, you blink most of the time, but are you aware of that you are blinking? And if I ask you how many times you blinked in last hour, you won't be able to tell you exactly. Because you do that very unconsciously. You are not conscious about it. But believe me, there are many things that our body does very consciously. For example, we may not be conscious, but our body is conscious about it. So I am talking about that consciousness which body has. For example, we breathe. We breathe. Our body has the consciousness to breathe, but we don't remember it, how we are breathing. Similarly, when we digest our food, we know where to send it. So that body has its consciousness to do that, but we are not really aware of it, how it is being done, because we are more or less focused with outside. We are all conscious about outside, but not inside. So what we do is, when we are here, we try to have a bridge between our outer and inner side. So this is what I call is meditative way to understand, start an inner awareness, inner journey, inner study, inner knowledge, not the dependence on external activity that we are normally occupied with. Okay, so the easiest thing to go inside us is to understand how we are breathing. The breath is the thing that is bridging between the external and internal world. So when we are breathing and we exactly know whether it is shallow breathing or it is a deep breathing or it is no breathing, we are aware of what is going on. Have you noticed that when you are very stressed, your breathing is very, very fast, or when you are angry, sometimes you breathe very fast, or when you are excited, that time. And when you are very, very depressed, or you are not very happy, very sad, sometimes you are very slowly breathing, as if nothing happens, nothing can happen in this world. Very frustrated, so very slow breathing. We can consciously change our mood by changing the pattern of breathing. If we change it, consciously we can change the mood. So those people who knew how to do that according to, our breathing pattern, they are, I will call them very empowered people. Okay, I will not call them enlightened people, but they are quite empowered. They know exactly how to control their own mood. If somebody is angry and talking badly, abusively, with the swear word and things like that, and he still keeps calm, that basically means that he is really in control, right? And he is controlling himself very consciously. So he is very connected with the deep consciousness. That somebody who is reacting very quickly, so they are under somebody's control. So I can tell you something to get angry, that means I am controlling. Correct? And if you do not react to it, that means you are not being controlled by anyone. That's an immense power. That's a very strong, nature, I will say, of a person. But to do this, it's not very easy. Is it easy or it is difficult? It's not so easy. So how to make it little easier? Because most of the time our relationship gets into trouble because we really take things literally and we mean it. But same thing with a child, you say anything, they will be unhappy and soon they will be very happy because you cannot control their emotions, because children are very naturally elevated. They have the consciousness which is very booming and spontaneous, so that you cannot easily, empower them or force them. So, but we are not childlike. Slowly we develop our ego, we become very intelligent, and then we can find out why that person has told me like that. So we analyze it, so we try to, further dissect it and find out the reason behind it, and then we get absolutely mad for anyone who abuses. Similarly, there are clever people, they will talk very sweetly with you to please you, to sell something you don't want. Has it happened? Go to a good store, salesman, they are very clever. They will try to say, oh, this is free for you, take it, and then finally they will give you a big price for it. But they are very clever. So they also play with your emotion. They will please you first, then they will sell you something you don't want it. And when you realize it, when you go to home and somebody says, what, you already have that pair, why another pair? Oh, that man is really, good salesman. So either way, you can get angry or you can get sold or you are pleased, and sometimes you give away something and later on you say, no, I should not have done this. So this is called our emotional, emotional, uh, emotionally not very balanced. We can go or swing either way. What I am trying to say is that if we are internally connected, that means nobody can really affect me by their way of talking or by sending some kind of emotional, planned or unplanned um, energy, then that's something we should do first. And for that, the first step that one should do is to be very honest with himself or herself. Most of the time we are not very honest. We sometimes lie to ourselves just to please and satisfy our ego. So either we know something or we don't know something. Most of us do not like to say I don't know something. Most of I know something. So when you do not know something, you can very clearly tell people that I do not know. I am here to learn something. So that is first step, that we should be honest. Second step is that we should not, steal somebody's idea or steal something, because that makes us fearful. When we steal something, it's not about any particular possession or particular material, but it is somebody's idea, somebody's thought, somebody's photograph, somebody's relationship, anything can be stolen. You don't have to steal only the material objects. There are many other kind of things that can be stolen. So if you steal somebody's thing, then what happens later on? You feel very guilty and fearful that I will be caught by somebody and I will be penalized. Sometimes we steal speed in the road. Sometimes we overspeed it. Overspeed is also stealing, but we don't know what, and that's why we are penalized. That we are 100 kilometer zone, we are driving 120. We are stealing time to reach somewhere. So stealing does not mean only stealing some objects. There are many things that can be stolen, and there is no written law about it that you have to understand that, and that is also called your ability in terms of your consciousness, in terms of your understanding the virtues. Small thing. You go and buy some pirated cassette or pirated disc of some Hollywood movie. You buy it from the actual shop, it will cost you more. So you go somewhere, you can get pirated. That is also a way of stealing somebody's copyright. Right? So being honest is important. Being, having the virtue of non-stealing is a good thing to have. So these are some of the things which will keep our emotion always balanced, and we should practice it. Just by practicing meditation is not going to help if we are not virtuous. Do you know why? Any of you? Okay, I'll tell you this. This is exactly what my master used to tell me. Like when we meditate, what happens is we get tremendous surge of good, refined energy. This energy is something which is there already in the universe, but when we attract it by blessing and doing something for helping others, the surge of energy, the cosmos thing is a good candidate where we should send energy. So the energy comes to us. Just like when we see a good farming land, okay, and we see, oh, this is a good farming land, somebody puts a lot of fertilizer in that farming land, what will happen?
Everything grows.
Everything grows. Everything will grow. You put any seed, it will grow. Right or wrong? Correct? But think about something which are like weeds or which is like grass or something that you do not want to plant. Will it grow or not?
Yes.
That will also grow because it does not understand. Fertilizer does not understand which is the tree for apple and which is the weed. So both of them will grow. So when we are meditating, if you are a loving, kind person, you will be more kind, more kinder, loving, more passionate. But if you are a angry person, or you are a sad person, or you are a terrible person, then that will also increase. You understand? So it is very important that before we start meditation, many people do not understand that. And they end up in a big trouble later on. And they say, oh, I have been very spiritual, I have been doing meditation, nothing is happening, I am getting crazy. Yes, there is a reason for becoming crazy. Because you have not done the purification. De-weeding is required. You have to de-weed. All the negative things, you need to first take them off, uproot them. Then only you should meditate, so that you can be a really good person. So, being a person with lot of guilt and lot of wrong kind of habits or something uncontrollable like emotions, you tend to be angry, you tend to be jealous, tend to be hatred, tend to be, then that will really make you mad if you do meditation, because meditation is nothing but amplifying your consciousness. So you attract those things which you are more attracted to, or more, that ingredient is more in you. So first step is to clean the farmland with all the useless stuff. So how we do it? We do it by understanding or looking at inside us, that what are the wrong things in us. Am I disciplined? Do I do these things? Or what kind of person I am? So if you go inward, then you can see that. And for that, all you need is introspection, self-awareness, self-realization a bit, and being honest. You have to be honest that I have to learn. I need to seek more things. If you become honest with yourself, automatically the rest of the thing will follow, one by one. Correct? Think about it, you will realize. Another thing that we need to do is, sometimes it is very, what I call is persistent. It does not go like that. So we need to also do what you call is self-affirmation. You can, even if you are not 100% truthful, but you can think and you want to be truthful, you can say that I wish to be truthful, I wish to be honest. You can create a wish and send this wish to the world, that I want to become this. I may not be this, but I am looking forward to be more honest, more kind, more passionate, more loving, more compassionate, more courageous, more adventurous, something which are strong. We can always do this affirmation every day in the morning. You can also say, I am very happy, I love myself, I forgive others. Some such affirmation are very good to do. If you do it, then slowly, what you are doing, you are de-weeding, taking the grasses. You should not mow. By mowing, you are only cutting the upper blades. You have to go to the root. You have no idea how much deep-rooted those, vices may have gone inside you. They are very, very strongly rooted. It comes from your society, your family, your past life, anywhere. They are very deep rooted. So, yeah, so that's the reason why I always try to explain that don't try to jump and do some meditation because all are doing it. Because not many people are aware that before you start meditation, we need to do certain things. At least we should know certain things. Then we should do some exercise. Why we do exercise? In fact, yesterday I met one lady I met long back, and she came to our one of the info talk session, and when we did our exercise, she thought that this is very simple exercise. I can do it at home. Why for that? For that, why I should come and do the exercise in groups? Then I was doing a workshop and I explained that why we need to do this exercise before meditation. Because we, as this body, has got certain centers which are called energy centers. It's like just like windows. So when you come to a place, you make sure that your windows are open or at least clear. Why? Because then only the fresh energy can come in. So our body is most of the time, the windows are not fully functional. Sometimes it gets sluggish. You have to oil it, or you have to do little bit of what I call is movement. We need movement. So when we move it, by moving our body, those particular windows, or we also call it chakras, we also call it energy centers, they are activated. And when they get activated, what happens? The flow of energy becomes much easier. So when we sit for meditation, we get a good energy that can make us more and more aware, more connected. Our broadband strength will be a bit stronger. And what else? That's it. Will be really, really pleasant, and any kind of misery that we had, we will forget immediately. So that's the reason why we always try to do certain physical activity to activate our energy centers. Because my master has done a lot of research to find out what are the simple way to activate. There are difficult ways to activate also. They are really, really good. Many people do all the yoga postures which are really, really good, but then they are meant for more younger people. Sometimes there are people who are aged and who are very sick. They won't be able to do those exercises because they are a bit difficult. So master kind of filtered out some easiest possible exercise that everyone can do, right from the child to adult. So that is why we kind of request or teach people how to do those exercises. After the physical exercise, we also do breathing exercise. When we do breathing exercise, our mind becomes very still. If our mind is floating with a lot of thoughts, jumping here and there like monkeys jump from one branch to other branch. Have you noticed that? So our mind also keeps jumping from one place to other place. And you cannot predict where it will go. Right now you are thinking about food, suddenly you will think about a movie. Then next you will think about your boyfriend or girlfriend. Suddenly you will think, oh, we should travel somewhere. Thought keeps on bombarding on our system. But we don't need to really become servant of our thoughts. We can really, literally control them. How do we control them? We control them by controlling our breath. If our breath is very, very slow, our thought will also be very subdued and slow. So we will do breathing exercise, we will do physical exercise, and after that we will do our usual 2.5 meditation, which is good enough. And I hope whatever I discussed today about virtues and maintaining those kind of what we call is ethical attributes that we should have like a child, at least try to follow one of them, which is truthfulness. Try to be truthful and try to be honest with yourself. Not all of them are possible, that at least one is, which is most important, is truthfulness. People say you should be non-violent. That is also a good virtue, but very difficult. You will get angry at somebody, or you will say somebody very strongly. So slowly, you will be able to follow them, but try to start with truthfulness. Try to be absolutely, doesn't matter, you need to be truthful. And if you think that truth is very, it can harm somebody or it will create some problem, you can keep quiet. You don't need to, sometimes speak naked truth. So you can always keep quiet. Shall we?